Today, I'm creating the strongest Jujutsu Kaisen character that ever lived! And no, you didn't watch this video already, because this video I'm creating has a twist in it. You see, today, I will make this video even more challenging, way more difficult, and quite honestly, incredibly more interesting. Okay, here's the extra rule we add for today's video. Instead of taking the traits our character will have from whichever character we want, we'll do something more fun instead. We'll instead spin a wheel, get the character we are given, and then we have to choose a trait from that character to add to the character we are creating. And yeah, as you can understand, this will become incredibly unpredictable, as we do not know where the wheel will land next. Should I save a given trait for another character? Or should I use this trait now that I get the chance and hope that the next spin will not give me something terrible? As you understand, there's a fair bit of luck involved in this. Okay, so here's the basis for the video. The initial traits we are tasked to assign are the following: race, cursed energy reserves, cursed technique, durability, speed, strength, self-healing capabilities, either through reverse curse technique or other means if our character is not a human, intelligence, domain expansion, cursed tools, battle IQ, and a special ability. As we continue, depending on what we choose, we will be able to add more traits for our character. Let's spin the wheel to see from where we're gonna start. First character we get is Gojo! Now that's a way to start a video! Gojo frickin' Satoru! Okay, having said that, what trait should we take from him? After all, we just got the honored one. Race is not a smart choice because even Gojo is, as we mentioned, a human. And being a human, we can choose someone else for another race with more special abilities down the line. For durability and endurance, Gojo's pretty sturdy, but that happens mainly due to his high levels of cursed energy and ability to heal himself with reverse curse technique. So as a standalone trait, Gojo's durability is not something incredibly special. His intelligence is indeed top tier, but I do feel other traits Gojo has could be better. For strength, Gojo's not something incredibly special, especially when considering there are characters out there like Yuta, Yuji, Mahoraga, and Toji. For healing, all I'll say is that his reverse curse technique is absolutely mad. One of the best, actually, in the world of Jujutsu Kaisen. He could regrow an arm in literally no time. However, since we can use curses for that point that can heal themselves effortlessly, I think there's better traits we can use Gojo for. The actual traits I'm considering for Gojo are the following: cursed technique, cursed energy reserves, domain expansion, and battle IQ. Let's briefly analyze each of them to see which one we should choose. For cursed technique, I think we all know that Gojo's combination of 6 eyes and limitless cannot be easily topped. Although not much is known about the 6 eyes, what is known is that they play some role in the precise usage of the limitless. Yuta has stated that the 6 eyes allows Satoru Gojo to reduce his cursed energy consumption from technique activation infinitesimally near to nothing, and that he will never run out of cursed energy in a fight as a result. Because of that, Gojo seemingly never runs out of cursed energy. It is heavily implied the 6 eyes allows for the user to perceive the world in terms of mass, speed, energy, and so forth, alongside its other effects. A fun fact you probably did not know about Gojo, however, is that he has always been a gamer. And well, all I'll say is that I'm 100% sure that if Punishing Gray Raven exists in the world of Jujutsu Kaisen, then Gojo definitely already downloaded it. I mean, this new free RPG game is an app I know all of you will love. iOS, Android, or even PC. This game is for everyone, and for a limited time only. Lamia Lost Lullaby is currently obtainable, and well, let's just simply put it this way: you will want to use her new weapon, Metis. One of my favorite things about her is the way she transforms between human and mermaid, and believe me, you will also get obsessed with that as well once you try it. In this new patch, Lamia has been sent to execute a new mission. She fell into a trap by mistake, accidentally obtaining a key with great power. She briefly became the queen of the sea in a dream bubble, and after stopping a disaster, she returned the key to humanity, after which she returned back into the ocean once more. And yet, even though that should have been enough reason already to download this game, that's not all! New coatings are now available as well! Karenina, Lamia, Selena, Lee all have new coatings, each with their unique and highly enjoyable traits. I mean, Karenina also features a themed song along with the new coating. And since this coating is idol-themed, players can experience a relevant story with it as well. I know, you're already convinced, right? Well, hear this as well for the cherry on top! New events and play modes derived from Matrix add to the enjoyment as well. In this roguelike play mode, players can earn rewards when they reach certain levels. In the patch event, Ice Queen Lulu, you can let your favorite characters cook with you and operate the restaurant together. Use my link in the description down below to get your free gift code in order to obtain Noan, Arca's new coating, Summer Glimmer, completely free of charge. So, what are you waiting for? Download Punishing Gray Raven today. But now, let's get back to our video and see how we can use Gojo for our character. How about cursed energy reserves then? You see, Satoru Gojo, being known within Jujutsu Society as the strongest Jujutsu sorcerer in the world is partially because of his immense amounts of cursed energy he possesses. His cursed energy is vast enough to use a domain expansion at least 5 times in one day, while most sorcerers can only use it once, even though, as we already stated, this also happens due to the 6 eyes as well. Next, battle IQ. Now, Gojo is undoubtedly one of the most knowledgeable individuals in the world of Jujutsu Kaisen. First of all, he can use Black Flash at will, a phenomenon that occurs when the user applies cursed energy within 0.0000001 seconds of a physical hit, creating a spatial distortion that causes their cursed energy to flash black and amplifies the destructive power of the strike exponentially. Due to his battle IQ, Gojo has full control over his Limitless, meaning he can use Infinity, aka the neutral state of Limitless, Red, which is the positive state, Blue, which is the negative state, and even the combined state of the two, meaning the Purple, which all I will say is that Mahoraga found out the hard way that when you're caught in that, nothing's left of you after it. Mahoraga! Help! Due to his battle IQ, Gojo can cast barrier techniques, various anti-domains, reverse curse technique, and domain expansion. But what is his domain expansion? Well, that's the final trait we're considering from him, Infinite Void. This domain expansion creates a metaphysical space that causes the victims to receive all kinds of stimuli and information endlessly, restraining their thought processes and actions. In terms of raw strength, Satoru's domain is equal to Sukuna's own malevolent shrine on the inside, and thus is considered among the strongest, if not the strongest domain expansion in the series. Among all of the described traits, I think I'll be going for the cursed technique of Gojo, as this is so rare that this overpowered combination last appeared again over 400 years ago. Plus, it gives an almost impenetrable barrier of defense that takes a whole lot of effort and strategy in order to bypass. Our character has Gojo's 6 eyes and Limitless. But spinning the wheel again, since we're long from done here, our second character is Jogo. For him, I think durability, speed, race, cursed energy reserves, healing, and domain expansion should be considered. Let's briefly explain each of them. For durability, well, all I'll say is that this dude was left with nothing more than a head and yet survived, and later on made a full recovery like nothing had happened. For speed, well, remember how he casually blitzed Nanami and Maki one after another. He set them both ablaze before they could even react. Jogo even outmaneuvered Naobito, one of the fastest Jujutsu sorcerers, and burnt him alive right after. All 3 sorcerers understood that his speed was so overwhelming that even a special grade curse, aka Dagon, that was considered incredibly fast, could not even compare with how fast Jogo really was. How about his cursed energy reserves? You see, Jogo possessed extraordinary levels of cursed energy even for the special grade, compared to around 9 of Sukuna's fingers. Satoru and the other sorcerers could sense his power was within special grade parameters just from his presence alone. I mean, Jogo relies entirely on his cursed technique in battle and uses it relentlessly without even exhausting himself. How about healing now? Well, not only could he regenerate after being left as only a head, as we already analyzed, even when Sukuna slashed part of his head, this seemed as just another day in the office for him. I mean, you know that feeling when your barber cuts your hair a little bit more on top than you wanted? Yeah, something like that. He quickly healed himself and later went on to fight Sukuna. For domain expansion, well, don't get fooled by how he was outmatched against Gojo's and Sukuna's domains. I mean, the guy was put up against the 2 strongest domains in the entire series. In reality, his domain expansion, Coffin of the Iron Mountain, is insanely strong. It constructs the inside of a volcano he was capable of manipulating at will. Even an average sorcerer would burn up on impact, and the volcanic stone within the domain serves as one of the deadly can't-miss attacks. But what will I be choosing? His race, aka being a cursed spirit. Our character will barely age, have a better grasp and control over cursed energy, regenerate with not much trouble, and so on and so forth. Being a cursed spirit is just superior in every way compared to being a human. And for those ready to say that Mahoraga's sword will be 1 hit away from exercising our character, just give it a moment. There are ways to counter that, either by using someone's special ability or through other weapons and means. All of the traits we analyzed that we could get from Jogo can be found in other characters either equally good or maybe even better. Our character is now a cursed spirit, and now things start getting even more interesting. Why? Because our third wheel pull is even better! We now get Sukuna! What should we use him for? The best options are speed, cursed energy, healing, domain expansion, durability, battle IQ, special ability. I mean, we might as well even throw plot armor in there as well. But yeah, let's see what we'll choose for him. For speed, Sukuna has repeatedly displayed overwhelming levels of raw physical speed, capable of effortlessly surprising most opponents with the sheer quickness of his movements. With 3 fingers, Sukuna easily slammed a finger bearer to the ground and even cut off its arm without it noticing. He was also able to effortlessly blitz Megumi several several times, delivering powerful blows with Megumi barely able to react at all. With 15 fingers, he easily overwhelmed Jogo and was able to keep up with Mahoraga in their fight. Sukuna was even able to instantly appear in the middle of Atsuya, Kusakabe, and Panda, both capable sorcerers, with the former being a grade 1 sorcerer. In his fully awakened form, he is even faster than that. Way faster than that, actually. How about cursed energy levels? Now, this is even better. He was able to continuously use his techniques throughout his battles without exhausting himself in the slightest. His reserves of cursed energy is the most transcendent throughout history, far surpassing special grade cursed spirits and sorcerers alike. Yuta Okotsu, a special grade sorcerer who possesses even more cursed energy than Satoru Gojo, states that Sukuna has double the amount of cursed energy that he has, or more. For healing, being the king of curses, Sukuna has displayed how effortlessly he can regenerate numerous times so far. For domain expansion, as we previously stated, Malevolent Shrine is on the same level, if not higher, than even Gojo's domain expansion, Infinite Void. Sukuna's domain expansion creates a Buddhist shrine decorated with skulls. Everything within the domain is relentlessly slashed with either dismantle or cleave, depending on its cursed energy level. Malevolent Shrine has a unique trait, doesn't create a separate space using a barrier, and is instead manifested into the surrounding airspace. By allowing an escape route, a binding vow is formed which vastly increases the guaranteed hit's effective area with a maximum radius of nearly 200 meters. For durability now, Sukuna was able to survive a 200% Hollow Technique purple during his fight with Satoru Gojo by defending himself at the last second, losing only his hands. Which, if that doesn't show you how insane his durability really is, then I don't know what does. For battle IQ, being the king of curses and having accumulated experience of over 1,000 years, Sukuna is obviously the character with the highest battle IQ in the series. He can use Black Flash, form binding vows, has an unparalleled level of understanding over cursed energy and cursed techniques. I mean, he could use Megumi's body and techniques to a level that Megumi could not even dream of achieving. And this is not even his own body and techniques he's used to. He can cast anti-domains, domain expansions, all kinds of binding vows, and has an incredible knowledge over cursed tools. And even with all these in mind, he still has the best strategic thinking when it comes to battle. Having said all this, if you recall in our previous video, we gave our character 2 traits from Sukuna. One of them was his battle IQ. The second, however, was special ability, aka being able to use 2 cursed techniques, 2 domain expansions, and even take over the body of someone else. So now that we can use Sukuna for only one ability, which should we go with? Well, since Sukuna's special ability allows us to add more traits to our character, I think this is what we should choose. We can find someone else to use for battle IQ down the road. Our character now has Sukuna's special ability, meaning he's got 2 cursed techniques, 2 domain expansions, and can take over the body of someone. And before we proceed, just like that, by having our character take over the body of someone, aka a human, we can protect ourselves from Mahoraga's sword that can exorcise cursed spirits with positive energy. But speaking of Mahoraga, guess who our next pull is? Yup, the strongest Shikigami himself, Mahoraga. The traits we can use Mahoraga for are 5. Durability, strength, speed, healing, and curse tool. For durability, I think this trait is self-explanatory. This dude can literally withstand anything if enough time is given to him. His very trait is his insane adaptability to anything. As a result, his durability is also insane. For strength, I mean, check this dude's build and tell me he's not a beast. He's casually around 5 meters tall, and I guess he weighs over a ton. All of it pure muscle, by the way. The guy was literally doing a butterfly swim through a friggin' building when chasing Sukuna. When it comes to physical strength, I think Mahoraga is the strongest character in Jujutsu Kaisen, with the only one maybe rivaling him being Toji. For speed, we saw that Mahoraga was on par with 15 fingers Sukuna, and we already analyzed what that means, as Sukuna was inhumanely fast in this form. For healing, once again, this is part of his adaptability. Like, literally, during his fight with Sukuna, we saw Mahoraga healing all kinds of insane injuries in the blink of an eye with not much effort. And for curse tool, well, his sword of extermination is imbued with positive energy, meaning it is capable of instantly exorcising any cursed spirit it comes into contact with. But since we want our character to be able to defeat curses, cursed objects, and humans alike, and since there are way more overpowered curse tools we can choose later on, I think we should probably choose between durability, strength, speed, and healing. My choice here will be Mahoraga's durability. Our character now has Mahoraga's durability. Spinning the wheel again for the 4th trait. The character we get now is Kenjaku. Okay, here, keep in mind we are considering Kenjaku and not Geto, and because of that, the 3 best traits this cursed spirit has are these: Intelligence, Battle IQ, and Curse Technique. For Curse Technique, Kenjaku possesses the bodies of other sorcerers post their death and utilizes their techniques in addition to his own natural skill set. For Battle IQ, well, we know that this cursed spirit is so old that it's actually classified as ancient. It has knowledge of barrier techniques, anti-domains, binding vows, probably reverse curse technique, and so on and so forth. As do not forget, with every body he takes over, their knowledge becomes his as well, or the last trait we can take from him, which is his intelligence. For that, all I will say is that everything we're witnessing right now, probably something like 90% of it, was done according to Kenjaku's plans. The level of mastermind he is, and the way he planned for everything, probably means that he's the smartest character in all of Jujutsu Kaisen. So, which of the 3 traits am I gonna go for? Probably intelligence, as once again, in this trait, Kenjaku is the top one in JJK. While for the other 2 traits, we might find someone equally good, or even better for that matter. Our character now has Kenjaku's intelligence. 5 traits down, 10 more to go. The next character we get is Miguel. Okay, now this is a bit tricky. What we can consider from him are speed, curse technique, cursed energy levels, and curse tool. For speed, well, we saw him being able to react and evade Sukuna's attacks, which, yeah, even some of the fastest characters in the series were not able to do, like Kashimo. But yeah, truth be told, this was made possible in combination with Miguel's curse technique as well. You see, his curse technique, Prayer Song, allows him to dance in order to expel curses and strengthen his physical abilities. This allows him to buff himself and debuff his opponents without the use of a domain. As a result of that, Miguel, in combination with his own abilities like speed and agility, he was able to evade Sukuna's attacks. For cursed energy levels, hear this. As one of Suguru Geto's strongest former allies, Miguel is highly regarded in a group that recognizes only sorcerers. Miguel's strength and ranking suggest he has high levels of cursed energy, and he was able to harden his body in order to take hits from Satoru by manipulating it as well. Miguel's prowess for cursed energy control is further proven by the results of Yuta's training. His knowledge of how to manipulate cursed energy helped Yuta gain an advanced understanding as well. And for the 4th trait, before we make our decision for Miguel, it's Cursed Tool. When fighting Gojo, Miguel was seen wielding the Black Rope, one of the strongest cursed tools in Jujutsu Kaisen. This cursed tool can disrupt and cancel out the effects of cursed techniques. Imagine how overpowered this would be when fighting a strong character that you're already on equal level with. This could definitely make all the difference. However, there is one important detail to keep in mind about this tool. It's extremely difficult to create, and it gets consumed incredibly fast. I mean, we saw Gojo destroying it, and yeah, he was pissed, but it wasn't actually rendering him unable to fight. What I think I'll choose is Miguel's speed. As for the other traits, there are great options we can use instead that are better than Miguel. We now gave the speed of Miguel to our character. Let's spin the wheel again. And we now get Angel, or as known by her real name, Hana. I think what I'll use Angel for is pretty straightforward to me, so I'll go ahead and get right into it. Either her battle IQ or her curse technique. For battle IQ, not many things to say other than she literally overpowered and was about to defeat 15-finger Sukuna on her own. But I guess Sukuna was not meant to be defeated yet, so Angel was done dirty here and lost the fight over being a Megumi simp. But nonetheless, under different circumstances, being a reincarnated sorcerer with plenty of knowledge under her, she is definitely very knowledgeable about curse techniques and what it means to be a sorcerer. But the trait I will actually use her for is her curse technique, Technique Extinguishment. You see, the Angel's curse technique allows for the extinguishment, or rather the nullification, of any and all curse techniques. Barriers and cursed objects alike are no exception, including special grades like the Prison Realm. While the Angel's technique has a small chance of reverting incarnations to a pre-incarnation state, it is far more likely that a given vessel will perish as a result. Not only that, but Maximum Output Jacob's Ladder is an even more overpowered extension technique. It conjures a four-winged trumpet made of light in Hana's hands, as well as an enormous circle of light in the sky above her. Said circle resembles a magic array that features a heptagram in its middle and several crosses along its periphery. By sounding the trumpet, a massive pillar of light descends from the circle to engulf whatever is below. Any curse technique will be extinguished under the light of Jacob's Ladder. Our character now has the curse technique Extinguishment of Angel as his second curse technique. The next character we get from the wheel is Aoi Todo. For him, a good choice would be his curse technique, but we already used both slots we had for that. The available traits we have are Strength, Cursed Energy Reserves, Healing Capabilities, a Body Taken Over, 2 Domain Expansions, Speed, and Battle IQ. The actual traits we're considering from him are Strength and Battle IQ. His Cursed Energy Reserves are not said to be anything special. Healing, we never saw him use reverse curse technique, so we can't assume he can do such a thing. A body to be taken over is not bad, but I suppose there's better options ahead. Domain Expansion? Well, so far Todo hasn't displayed one. Speed's nothing crazy, as him evading attacks is possible due to his curse technique. So, Battle IQ versus Strength. For Battle IQ, we saw him being able to instruct and help Yuji on how to use his abilities and become stronger. He's also able to make the most out of his curse technique. But having said that, we did not see a whole lot of other stuff from him, and I do think that Battle IQ can be used better if we choose another character. Because of that, I think Strength is also a great trait to use Todo for, as his physique is, as we can all see, pretty impressive. Our character now has Aoi Todo's Strength, but spinning that good old wheel again, the next character we get is Kashimo Hajime. Okay, we already used Speed, so I guess we're out of luck on this one. How should we use Kashimo now? The options we have for him are the following: Cursed Energy Levels, Cursed Tool, or Battle IQ. For Cursed Energy Levels, here's what we know. During his battle against Hakari, Kashimo was not even using his innate cursed ability, but rather base cursed techniques, and most of the time consume more cursed energy. Even though he does not have the most cursed energy in the series, it's definitely among the highest ones. For Cursed Tool, Kashimo uses this Nyoi Staff. This tool can function as a lightning rod for accumulating his charges. It's capable of conducting the electrical properties of Hajime's cursed energy, making it a suitable weapon for the sorcerer to use in close combat. Hajime generally uses polearm attacks in combination with normal taijutsu. For Battle IQ, Kashimo is once again great in that area as well. Being a reincarnated sorcerer, he has vast knowledge of cursed techniques and fully understands the essence of being a sorcerer. But since this guy thought he could take on Sukuna and yet did not even last a full chapter against him, I suppose this is a pretty major minus on his Battle IQ score. So because of that, I'm not going to be taking that trait. Our character receives Kashimo's Cursed Energy Reserves. Moving on, the next character the wheel gives us is Uraume. Now for this case, we're considering the following traits available to Uraume: Healing, Body Taken Over, and Battle IQ. For Domain Expansion, at least while recording this video, Uraume has yet to display a Domain Expansion. For Curse Tools, we again did not see her using any. So let's take the 3 possible traits and quickly analyze them to help us decide. As far as healing goes, Uraume has displayed some of the best feats of reverse curse techniques so far. I mean, she was able to regenerate the flesh of her palm that was drilled through by Choso's piercing blood without any problem whatsoever. For the Body Taken Over trait, this would mean that our character now has access to her innate technique, Ice Formation. This gives Uraume the ability to create and manipulate ice. It can range from small to large quantities depending on the desired utilization. But from what we saw so far, this technique's capabilities can get pretty crazy. Or should we go for Battle IQ instead? I mean, Uraume is indeed a reincarnated sorcerer, one that was by Sukuna's side for multiple decades, could even be centuries. So not only does she have plenty of battle experience, the fact that the King of Curses kept her by his side further proves that Uraume's Battle IQ must indeed be something special. Among the 3, I'll be going for her healing capabilities, because this trait is not something very easily found, and thus, if we don't take it while we have the chance, our character might end up not being able to regenerate, which of course is a huge plus to have in the world of Jujutsu Kaisen, and it'd be a waste not to use it. So, our character has Uraume's reverse curse technique capabilities. But let's spin the wheel again, and the next character we get is Megumi. Okay, so the traits left are a Body Taken Over, 2 places for a Domain Expansion, Curse Tool, and Battle IQ. For Domain Expansion, since Megumi's is still incomplete, I think this trait is discarded. For Curse Tool, we did not see Megumi wielding anything of high significance, and for Battle IQ, well, all I'll say is that this dude almost summoned Mahoraga against Todo, and actually summoned him against Haruta of all people. I mean, you cannot call someone that his default move is to summon Mahoraga, and thus have Mahoraga kill Megumi later on because of that, someone with a high Battle IQ. The only trait left, which is actually the best we could hope for to use for Megumi, is for the Body Taken Over. I mean, it wasn't random that Sukuna chose this body to take over. With this, we gain access to the 10 Shadows technique, which all I'll say is most Gojo fans claim this was the sole reason Sukuna survived against Gojo. But is this true or not? Did Sukuna survive because of Mahoraga or not? Let me know in the comments down below what you think. But nonetheless, the essence is this: our character has now taken over Megumi's body. Spinning the wheel again, we now land on Hakari. Okay, the empty spaces we have are 2 domain expansions, Curse Tool, and Battle IQ. No Curse Tools are used by Hakari. For Battle IQ, I don't think that someone who's a registered gambling addict can be considered the best example of a character with a high Battle IQ. I mean, the guy literally gambles while fighting. What we'll be taking instead is his domain expansion, Idle Death Gamble. This is basically a pachinko-themed domain expansion that creates an environment resembling a train station that hosts a game of chance. Kenji's primary goal is to line up 3 of the same numbers to hit a jackpot with only a 1 in 239 chance of doing so. Hitting the jackpot of Idle Death Gamble grants Kenji a bonus of unlimited cursed energy for 4 minutes and 11 seconds. The limitless cursed energy causes Kenji's body to reflexively use reverse curse technique to automatically heal any injury, making him effectively unkillable after hitting a jackpot. If our character gets this domain expansion and manages to hit the jackpot, this would definitely be a huge deal. Our character's first domain expansion is Hakari's Idle Death Gamble. 12 traits down, 3 more to go. The next character we get is Mahito. The available options we have are a second domain expansion, a Curse Tool, or Battle IQ. For Curse Tool, I'm not sure if Sukuna's fingers count. When creating this position, I had more in mind weapons, to be honest. So let's just assume that Sukuna's fingers aren't considered here, meaning we're between his domain expansion and his Battle IQ. Even though Mahito's Battle IQ is not bad, I tend to believe his domain expansion is something more special. You see, not only is a domain rarer to find, and we're almost at the end of the video, so we need to take it now while we can. His Battle IQ was not something incredibly special either. After all, Mahito was shown to be a very young and new cursed spirit, aka not having witnessed or fought many battles in his life. But what is Mahito's domain expansion? Well, we'll explain very briefly. Self-embodiment of perfection creates an environment where he is automatically connected with the souls of anyone inside and is capable of transfiguring them at will. His control over the technique is flexible enough that, much like Satoru Gojo, he's even capable of activating it for 0.2-second intervals. Our character's second domain expansion is Mahito's self-embodiment of perfection. On to the final 2. The next character we get is Maki Zenin. Okay, we did get pretty lucky on this one. We needed someone with access to curse tools, and who better other than Maki? She literally has access to, and we saw her using, the biggest number of curse tools across Jujutsu Kaisen. The list includes various katanas, Playful Cloud, aka a special grade curse tool that is described as pure power, relying entirely on the user's physical strength, Dragon Bone, which can accumulate force and cursed energy, as well as eject it out of the back of the blade in accordance with the user's will, and last but not least, the sword left behind for Maki is an exact replica of the Split Soul Katana, Maki's last connection to her sister, and it possesses the ability to bypass any physical resistance to cut right at the soul of any target. Our character now has Maki's cursed tools. And now for the finishing round. Let's see from which character will be taking their Battle IQ. Miwa. Okay, boys, let's pack things up. We're done here. This pretty much settles it. Our character is now fodder material. So, just to get this straight, we did all this. We created the best character we could. We put everything in this, and yet it didn't even matter in the end. Lord, Miwa was enough to single-handedly destroy everything. What can you do when your character has Miwa's Battle IQ? She literally used a binding vow to never be able to swing her katana again in order to attack Kenjaku. The result? Kenjaku didn't even flinch. Yeah, that's how bad this is. So, I guess our character's Battle IQ is that of Miwa's. Click on this video next, where I create the strongest character in all of anime's history. Go on, check it out!